Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have already shown you how to design this form. This is a return book form, and you can see that this form look like this. If you have not watched my previous video, then just please go to description and check out the video link, or you can just click on the right side suggestion on your screen. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to backend code for this because here you can see this when I enter something like this, nothing happens. So I'm going to code for that. So how these all buttons are functional, how do these buttons will work. Okay, so let's start with that. Let me just close this because first let me increase the size of this because it's not that much nice. So let me just increase the font size to 10. Okay. So after that, first thing what I want is when I enter something into this and when I click on this search button, this data grid view needs to be filled with the data of that student. Okay, so for that, first thing what I need is button click event. So first let me just change the design name of these stuff. So how to do that? For that, first just go to properties and after that change the design name. So for that just search for name, and here you have to change this one to txt enrollment enter enroll, and after that change this button name to btn search student, and this one to btn refresh, and this one to btn exit. And the same we have to change for these also. So change this one to txt book name, this one to book issue date txt book issue date, and we have only one date time picker, so we don't need to change that. Just change the design name of this button, so btn return, and change this one to btn cancel. Okay, so now what we have to do is actually I'm not changing the name of this data grid view because we have only one data grid view. Okay, so first thing what I need to do is we have to generate a click event for this button. Just double click on this and click event is generated. Here you can see this. So first thing what we have to do is we have to make a SQL connection. So for that SQL connection, and after that you will find a small pop-up here in the left side blue, and here you can see this. Just click on this. This will include the library, import the library, and after that you have to just make a connection, SQL connection object. So new SQL connection, and after this you have to pass the connection string. So in this you have to write this data source and equals, you have to copy that from your actually database. So let me just open that quickly. So it will take a little bit of time, so don't worry about that. So I'm using this Microsoft SQL Server 2012 Management Studio, as you all know that. Here you can see this, when you open you will find the server name. You have to just copy this and you have to paste it over here, and you have to mark one more forward slash, and after that I have to mention the library database name. So for that just write database, and here you have to mention library because my database name is library. You can put your database name if you have changed that, library, and after that you have to type integrated security equals true. So make sure you don't make any spelling mistake that will cause an error. Okay, so after this what we have to do is we have to make a SQL command object, cmd equals new SQL command, and in this command we have to pass the connection string object, connection object, SQL connection. So cmd dot connection equals con, and after that what we have to do is we have to pass the connection string, command string, command text actually. So in this we have to write select star from IR book, that is my table name. In previous video I've already shown you I've created that when I have designed the issue book. Okay, so here you can see this. Okay, let me just show you quickly. Just connect this. And let me just change this stuff. Okay, so it's taking a little bit of time, so not to worry about that. So let me just change this one to library. Okay, so you can see this, select star from IR book, and just select this one and execute. So you can see this, my table is here, so it means that my table name is actually IR book. Okay, so you can see this, the null represents that book has been issued but not returned. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. So my table name is IR book, and here what we have to do is we have to only select those records which match the enrollment number of the student. So from where we get that enrollment number, we have to extract that value from the text box. Okay, just close these stuff. You can see this, we have to extract that value from this one, this text box, and I have changed this name of this text box to txt enter enroll. So select a star from IR book, where we have to find that enrollment number. Let me just find the column name of that. So column name of enrollment number is std enrollment, std underscore enroll. So you have to write the same. If you have mentioned any uppercase, then you have to write that in the uppercase, so don't make this small mistakes. Okay, so where std underscore enroll, and here we have to mention it's actually in the string format, so that's why we are using actually single quotes and then double quotes, and this we are actually concatenating with this. Okay, so txt and from enroll, and from this text box what is needed is text. So we're checking that select star, we have to select all the records from which table IR book, where enrollment number is this, which is user entering in the text field. And after that we have to check and book return is equal to null. So here you can see this, what, let me just show you what I'm doing here is, here you can see this, book underscore return date. This will null only when the book is not returned. So I'm going to check that condition too. So just write this column name over here. So book underscore return underscore date is null. Okay, so now I hope you understand. If you not understand, just comment in the comment section, or I will just explain you right now. So we are checking actually here two conditions. Select a star from IR book. Till here you understood, and after that what we are checking, that first thing, that student enrollment number is this, whatever is written in the text box, this one. Okay, so let me just write it over here. Okay, till here, suppose user enter pu-100 shit 1002, and after that we are going to check that and book return date is null. This is the condition. Okay, so if the book is returned, then why we need to return that? If this is not null, then that record will be not visible in the data grid view. This is going on here. Let me just remove this. If you still don't get it, then just text on us on Instagram, or you can just comment in the comment section. I will definitely explain you, and I will definitely make something other stuff for that to make you understand. Okay, so not to worry about that. So now after this, what we need to do is we need to actually store the data which we are retrieving from the database. So SQL data adapter DA equals new SQL data adapter, and this we have to pass the command cmd of command object, and after that what we have to do is we have to create an object of data set. ds equals new data set, and this, after that what we have to do is we have to fill this data set. So let me just fill this with ds. In this we have to pass the data set object, and now the task is done over here. Okay, so after that, suppose if user enters something wrong user ID, sorry, wrong enrollment number, then we need to do something for that. So suppose when user enters wrong enrollment number, it means that this condition will fail. This will return nothing, null. It means that data set is empty. So what we have to do is we have to check that if, okay, so let me just add a breakpoint here for now, and I will show you how to do that. For that, let me just add a breakpoint and how this stuff is going on. I'm going to explain you that. Okay, so I've started the project, and here you can see this. When I click on this return book PU-1002, when I click on search student, okay, it's taking time. Okay, something exception occurred. Additional information and network related. Okay, so I have made some mistake over here, so let me just resolve that quickly. Okay, so I have used here comma in place of colon, so let me just replace that with the colon, and let me start this once again. Return book PU-1002. When I click on this, here you can see this. Now we move over here the breakpoint. It means that this code is successfully executed. And after that, let me just see the data set. Here you can see this. When I click on this, only those records are visible whose return book is empty. Here you can see this. Okay, so now let me do one more stuff. That is, let me just enter the wrong enrollment number. So I have entered the wrong enrollment number. When I enter, so here you can see this data set is empty. Okay, so let me just write code for that to check that. Okay, so here you can see this. What we have to do is we have to check that if the data set is empty, if not null, then only the data grid will be visible. Okay, so tables, and in the 0 dot rows and dot count is not equals to 0, then only we try to fill the data grid view. If we try to fill the data grid view with null value, suppose user enter the wrong enrollment number, then the data set contain nothing. And when we try to assign nothing into that data grid view, then that will generate an exception in your program. So we need to check that for sure. So data grid view name is data grid view 1 dot data source equals ds dot tables, and in this we have to pass 0 because we have only one table. And here you can see this. When you start this, and when I click on this, here you can see this. When I enter PU-1002, okay, here you can see this. Now we have the record. So if I enter something wrong, here you can see this, nothing happens. So let me just put this code outside this if block so that you can see the difference. Okay, so let me just start this. So I'm not checking that the data set is empty or not. So okay, so when I enter some valid user ID, then it will work fine. And if I enter something wrong, and when I click on search, nothing happens. Okay, here you can see this. Okay, so here you can see this. In the same way we have to do for, let me just put it back. And here what I want is, when a user entered wrong, I want to show a message that you have entered a wrong enrollment number or no book has been issued. So here we have to just put an else condition. And in this, we have to write the message box dot show invalid ID or no book issued. And after this, we have to make this, mark this text box, or sorry, message box as error, then give a name this error. And after that, message box button needs to be okay, and icon needs to be error dot error. Just close this and just start this once again. Here you can see this. When I click on this and when I enter something wrong, invalid ID or no book issued. So now it's looking nice, better than before. In the previous condition, I have shown you when I enter some wrong enrollment number, then this data grid view is filled with some data which is empty table, nothing but an empty table. So that doesn't look that much nice. So it's saying that this book is not issued or invalid ID. So let me just enter a valid one, PU-1001, and when I enter this search student, here you can see this. Now it's looking nice. So next, what we have to do is when this form loads, I want this panel needs to be invisible. Here you can see this. Now, for now, when I start this, when I click on this here, you can see this. For now, this panel is visible. What I want is when a user enters some enrollment number, valid enrollment number, after that when user click on that row, then this data needs to be filled with that data. So I want first thing to hide that panel. So for that we have to code on the form load event. Just double click on this, and what I want is we need to hide that panel. So let me just check the name of that panel. So just go to properties, and this name is panel 2. So I want this panel to be hidden. So panel 2, okay, panel 2 dot visible equals false. Let me just start this, and when you click on this here, you can see this. Now the panel is visible and the auto scroll bar is also disabled. Okay, and we have to add few more lines of code over here. I will explain you later why I have added that. So I want to just actually clear this enrollment field when it's load. Okay, so that's it. After that, what we want to do is I want to code for nothing but, so we have to code for data grid view cell click event. So just go to properties of this one, and you have to just click on this event. Here you can see this. We have to select the cell click. Here you can see that this one is cell click. Just double click on this and it will generate a cell click event, data grid view 1 underscore cell click event. Here we need few variables, so you have to take these variables to extract that value from that row on which the user clicked. So first thing I need is string type, that is nothing but book name, and string type nothing but book date, and we need one integer int64, that is row ID. Okay, so we have created three variables over here, and after that I'm going to write something. So first thing what I need is when I click on that data grid view, that panel below the panel which we have hidden, here you can see this on the return book load event, this panel is visible. First thing I want to show that panel. So panel 2 dot visible equals true. I have to do that. Let me just start that and show you that if it's still working or not. Return book PU-1001. It will say this nothing, no panel is over here, and I search it, and when I click on here you can see this, now this panel is visible. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so now we have to extract the values from the clicked row. So how to do that? For that, first we have to check the condition data grid view 1 dot rows, and in this we will use this object e dot row index. We will extract the index dot cells. Okay, and in this we have to pass that e dot column index dot value not need to be null. Okay, and after this, if it's not null, then what we need to extract these data. So how to do that? For that, first I want to extract the row ID. So that's actually in the integer format, so we have to parse that value to integer, convert that value, because whatever in the text is in the string format, so we have to convert that into that integer format. So for that, integer 64 dot parse, and in this method we have to use data grid view 1 dot rows e dot row index dot cells 0 dot value dot to string. So here you can see this. What we have done is from data grid 1 row, and we have selected that row index, and from that row index, from that row we are extracting the zeroth value, because 0 is always our the column, actually the primary key, that is the ID of that. Here you can see it in the database, you can see this is the for zeroth column and this is the ID. Ignore this because that's of the database. So we have to see this ID. Here you can see this. That is the zeroth. That's why I've used 0 over here. Here you can see this. Okay, so we have to actually extract the book name and book date. So for that, we are going to use the ID. Book name is here too. This one is 0, 1, and 2. This one is 2. And okay, okay, this is not actually book name. This is student name. Here we find the book name. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7. And this one is 8. Book issue date. Here you can see this. This one is book issue book date. Okay. So we have to copy, actually we have to copy this much stuff because it's already in the string, so we don't need to parse that. So for that, b name equals, and we have to paste it this, and after that we have to change this one cell to 7 as I have counted it right now. And after that we have that book date, and we have to paste it, and we have to change this stop to 8. So after now we have the value into these variables. So now what we have to do is we have to set these values to the text boxes. Here you can see this. We have two text box, book name, book issue date, and this needs to be selected by the user. Okay, so we have to set book name and book issue date into these two text box. So how to do that? So for now, let me add one breakpoint over here and just start this, and see if we click on that row we get that data or not. Okay, so let me just view dash 1001, and when I click on this, search a student now, you can see this, the book name is data structure and book issue dated Monday 20. So just click on this, and here you can see the row ID is 18. Okay, and after that book name is, we just hover on this one, book name is data structure. Here you can see this, and when I hover on this, Monday April 2020. So now it's working. Okay, so now we have to assign these value into these text boxes. So still you can see that these text boxes are empty. So let me just stop this and let me add this stuff. So txt book name, the text box name dot text, and this we have to set the text that's in the variable b name. And in the same way we have to do for the issue date dot text, and that's in the book date. So now when I start this, and when I enter enrollment number, and when I click on this, here you can see this, oops, and it's on the Friday, May 15, 2020. Here you can see this, oops, Friday, May. When I click on this, data is changed. Here you can see the data structure. So now it's working fine. So now the task is done till here. So now what we have to code is we have to code for the return book button. So let me show you that. So you can see this, when I click on this return book, I want to return only this book. Okay, so let me just code for that. For that, just go to your form and just double click on this return book to generate a click event. Just double click on this, and after that we have to make again the SQL connection. For that we have to just copy this line of code and just paste it over here. And after this, what we have to do is we have to actually update. So I don't need these stuff, so let me just remove this. And after that, first thing what I need is connection dot open. We have to open the connection, and after this I want to pass the command text. So command text, what we need to do is we need to actually, here because in the database we have this null value, so we have to only update the return date into this. Okay, so this empty column. So how to do that? For that you have to just write update table name, that is ir book, set book underscore return underscore date, equals plus date time picker, date time picker dot text. From this we need the text plus, it's in the string format. So this is actually the table name and this is the column name. Here you can see this book underscore return and underscore date. So I have written it over here and we have to check that the condition that which ID needs to be which enrollment number and what is the ID, row ID. Okay, so we have to check the two condition where std underscore enrollment equals needs to be matched with the enter txt enrollment, enter enrollment dot text needs to be matched with the user, which user has entered. And after that we have to check one more condition. If only we execute the query till here, then it will return all the book which has been issued to one student at a single time. So for that we have to actually check that which row has been clicked, which row has been selected, and only that needs to be returned. For that I'm going to check one more condition, that is and id equals, and id is in the integer format, so plus row id. So I have extracted this row id from here. Here you can see this. Okay, here you can see this row id and I have extracted this row id over here. So only that row id needs to be returned. Okay, so let me just double quote over here. So now it's fine. I hope you understand this. If you don't understand, then just comment and I will just explain you what this going on over here. So after this I have to write one more thing, that the cmd dot execute non-query, and we have to finally close the connection, con.close. And after this what I need to do is I want that when a user return a book, that form needs to be reload. Okay, so how to do that? For that just you have to do like this, return, that is the actually this form name, that is return book underscore load, we have to call that. So this one, here you can see this, and in this we have to pass two stuff, that is this and null. When you call this, this will reload the form, this will call this form. Here you can see this will call this and this will do two tasks. First thing is that this form, the panel over here needs to be, this will be invisible and this text box will be cleared. Here I have called that load method over here. And after that, before that, what I need is I want to show a user confirmation that your book has been returned. For that we have to write message box dot show, and in this you have to write return successful, and this message box needs to be named success and needs to button of OK. And after that we need icon, so message box icon dot information, and now it will look nice. So let me start this. Return book pu-1001 and search. Here you can see this, for 1001 only 3 books has been issued. So now I'm going to issue one more book for this one, pu-1001 and search student, and I'm trying to issue one book. Here you can see this maximum number of book has been issued. So let me just close this and go to return book and pu-1001 and search student, and I want to return this book. Okay, so this one, here you can see this book is nothing but data structure, or let me just return this Java book. So I have selected that row and here you can see this. When I return, only that record needs to be returned, so that is 26 and the book is Java on May 25. So I'm going to return that. When I click on this, okay, so some exception occurred, invalid column std enroll. Here you can see this, I have make a small mistake. I have already warned you for this, don't make this mistake. So let me just change this std enroll. Here you can see this, it's enroll. Let me just check that std, where it is, std underscore enroll, enroll. Now it's fine. So let me start this once again, and I'm going to u-1001 and search student, and I'm going to return this one. So that's Java. So you can see this, when I click on OK, this form loads and this text box is empty, and here you can see this. Okay, so we have to mention one more thing, that is we have to actually this call this search button, because this panel you can still find that we have three records over here. This is because we have already that data from the previous. Okay, so let me just select. Here you can see this. Now we have only two records. One book has been returned, that is the Java is missing over here. So now it's working. Okay, so now after this what we have to do is we have to do code for the few remaining buttons. That is nothing but refresh, exit and cancel button. So let me code for that. First thing, one more stuff is remaining, that first text change event for this one. So if this is null, then what we have to do is we have to set this data grid view to null. It means that no value to this data grid view, and our problem, one more problem will be resolved. Here you can see this. Currently I have shown you that when I click on return, and when this return, this data grid view is filled with the previous old data, so that will be resolved. So let me just go to properties, and in this search for text change event, just double click on this and this form will load, and check the condition. If txt enter enroll dot text is not equals null, and if it's okay, sorry, if it's null, then what we have to do is first thing, that panel needs to be invisible. Panel 2 dot visible equals false, and second stuff, that is I want to set the data grid view with nothing, just empty. So for that, data source equals null. I have to set that. Okay, so let me just start this and I will show you what actually did we here, what we did it over here. So here you can see this u-1001. When I click on search student, here you can see this, we have this record, and I'm going to return one more book. So in the previous time, where you can see this, when I click on that return, this data is still over here. So this time this will not here, because we have set that when this text box is clear, the data from this needs to be removed. Okay, so let me just retain. Okay, here you can see this, nothing is over here, and this one is also empty. So I'm going to show you once again. So you can see this, when I search for this, only one record is still remaining. Okay, so let me just close this. Now it's working fine. After that, what we have to do is we have to code for this refresh button. Just double click on this and refresh button, click event is generated, and in this we have to do nothing. We have to just clear the text box, because on the text box clear, we have to clear this text box, because all the task has been done on this text box. We have to place mark. So txt enter environment dot text, sorry, dot clear, we have to use that. Okay, so here you can see this. Now it will work fine or not. Just start the project and return book. Here you can see this pu-1001 and search student, and here you can see this, everything is now okay. Sorry, pu-1001, and when I click on this, and when I click on this, here you can see this, everything is here. And when I click on this refresh button, so now here you can see this, the form is refresh. Okay, so now we are left with one more button, that is nothing but exit button. So just double click on this and exit button, click event will be generated, and here we have to do one small stuff, that is nothing but this dot close. This form will be closed, and one button is remaining, that is cancel. So in the same way, on the cancel button also we need to do the same stuff over here. Just copy and paste it, or we can do one small stuff, that is panel 2 dot visible equals false. So that will look nice. Okay, so let me show you. pu-1002 and search student, and we'll like click on row, and when I click on cancel, so okay, here you can see this. Now it's looking nice. Okay, so now we are done with this return book. So I hope you like the video, and if you like, then please subscribe and share with your friends and hit the like button. So in the next video I'm going to show you nothing but the complete book details. Here you can see this is a complete project. Password is pass and just enter. I'm going to show you how to design this complete book detail. You can see this. All the book which is currently for issued and return book. You can fetch all the data over here. The today date is something. It's Sunday, May 17th. Here you can see this. I have returned two books, that is of Lokesh. The first one is Java and Oaks. Here you can see this. These two records are visible, and all the issued book are visible over here. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to design this panel, how to design this form, and how to code for this access button. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon before leaving this video. Okay, so thanks.